to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. It's Brian in the saddle here with you on a Friday, TGIF. TGI McFridays. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Anyway, that one goes out to Ed if you're watching. Every day I'll give you a Simpsons quote from way back when. I want my elephant. Nice to see all of you. I got a bunch of people over there on YouTube saying hello. So actually, this is this might be one of our last public videos that we're going to do. Keep in mind, I do this Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the site. And we are having, along with everybody else in the world, a big Black Friday promotional. And actually, I'm super excited to show you what we have built. Sjord came through at the very last moment, snuck in under the wire. He's able to get the candy ready to go here. This was a Herculean task. We're nowhere near the finish line, but we did cross a very significant hurdle today. And I think actually after what I show you here today, I think you might actually say to yourself, you know, that's probably worth taking advantage of that deep discount that they're offering right now. Have been, of course, putting out lots of public messages extolling the virtues of our signaling system. And I have to say the breadth indicator did its job admirably there about a month or so ago, I suppose now, there at the end of October, beginning of November. Actually, I think the first signal came in over here about kind of, I guess, early October. That's where we were given the warning sign that the bear was officially done. And as I've said, and I put this out in a tweet here even today, what usually happens, and you know, this is why I built this indicator a million years ago. And I'm proud of Sjord for, sticking it out, making darn sure that we brought this thing to market here. And it's a usable tool that you can functionally make money with trading or buy it from trading with this tool. But really beautiful example of signal, what the breadth indicator will look like when these incredibly washed out signals come. We're running a demo portfolio here. And actually, we have two different demo portfolios. One is and this is just my approach to crypto. We can always day trade. I mean, we could probably do plenty of trading plans off of that kind of stuff and swing trading and even trading with the algos for that matter. I think I've shown you an absolutely killer algo signal recently on that Solana. But simplicity purposes, I've been running this. I don't know whether you all can see the date here, TGIF. Happy Friday, 29th of November, Black Friday, blah, blah, blah. So I'll probably put this away for now. So we have more screen space. And I thought one of the things that I might do here today with you guys, being the free broadcast, you can kind of see what we do on the inside, Monday to Friday, what I'm doing in the marketplace, and hopefully incentivizes you to, I might even seriously consider joining them. This is a fun little meme coin that was given a bit of a tout here lately on the site. The cat names, they're all going crazy. And of course, we know what to think when we see this part of the market going crazy. So this guy, I actually really like this trade. It's a good looking trade. Having said that, it's only an hourly chart. So if this thing breaks down, it might just be a piece of poo. Having said that, the market is very uppy right now. I doubt stuff like this breaks down per se. But you can see how far I have to go to actually get a double here, which I think is going in the 50% rule is what I always suggest people use as a normal, healthy, realistic, don't, have overly unrealistic profit objectives. If we can get a tag of that 50% level sometime through the weekend, which is just nothing more than a revisit of this wick. And of course, you can see there's these trap bulls, these trap bulls, these trap bulls, and these trap bulls all desperately want to get out. So you can probably understand why the market would stall out at these levels. And not a big surprise, things like 50% rules, you can now start to think candle body highs and lows for trade location. Wicks and tails like to be eaten, 50% level. You can kind of see this, we're in a wedge here. So we'll see what happens. This was a flyer. And really, I'm just playing this with the market's money. And this is the best way to play the market. I'll tell you that much, by crackers. It makes life so easy. And what do I mean by that? Well, and actually, this is the best. Ironically, I mean, I have it on the site, but this is basically the same image. Every once in a while, you'll get names that go absolutely crazy. And the question ultimately is, and actually, this would be, and you know what we need to do before I get into this, because we got so much to talk about here today. Let's first start off with what the hell are we going to talk about here today? So I wanted to show you that crypto buy signal and the breadth indicator. And again, like I said, for 85 bucks a month, I think this is an absolute steal. And, as you can see, even just from this tweet I put out here, I mean, this is just the move over the past month in the account, basically more than doubling. That's how powerful these buy signals are. So could you make enough to justify that subscription so that you got this notice in your email? Hey, it's middle of October. Crypto market is completely washed out. Time to get your skirt together, right? And all that kind of talk. I think so. So anyway, I'll put him back away for now. So as I said, I wouldn't mind talking a little bit about breadth. I don't know whether I'm going to talk about like real-time breadth signals here, because this is a bit of a pitchy show. I really would like you to seriously consider taking advantage of this Black Friday event here at TRI. We can talk a little bit about the Econs. Headline numbers, euro inflation rate, is ticking back up. And it makes sense because the European, I mean, we had like runaway inflation. Everybody raised rates. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then typical bureaucrats, and keep in mind, central banksters, they are the absolute worst market timers. You cannot have a worse market timer than a central bankster, because they don't, all they care about is just to make sure that there's always a positive interest rate number so that their bank model continues to work. So the one thing that they absolutely do not want to see is deflation. Which sadly, of course, is actually what us consumers would love to see. We'd love to see, the economy getting cheaper, prices coming down, our standard of living going up. Because keep in mind, it's very difficult for us to demand higher wages. I mean, you see how difficult this Black Friday sales event here is. This is the first time in 10 years running this site, I actually have people trying to haggle with $85 a month subscription service for what I'm going to show you, which is ridiculous value. They're trying to actually haggle us down from that. And I basically told these people, you're getting this product on this Black Friday deal at more than a 50% discount. Frankly speaking, I think this system is worth easily 100, 200 bucks a month, no problem. And there is no further negotiation. And if you don't want to buy the product, don't buy the product. I don't care. Having said that, I would like to encourage you to consider buying the product, but nobody has a gun to their head. And no, I'm not going to get into things like haggling with customers over what the final price is. In this case, no, sorry, price is not negotiable. You're getting an absolutely ridiculous steal here with this Black Friday deal. And don't try and lowball us because it's just insulting. All right. Anyway, enough of that. Um, because of the US holiday weekend here and this odd sort of window that we have here through the Thanksgiving holiday weekend down in the States, this is a perfect opportunity for the banksters to really screw with the market and run stops. And ironically enough, it's also a fantastic window that if you happen to have a trend that's sort of triggered, don't go and take a contrary trade in the face of this illiquid market state. And if anything, super, super, super important, do not chase. Because if you chase, you're just asking for trouble. And then you get the rug pulls, that'd be like a crypto saying that all of you are familiar with. So be careful here. As well, too, there weren't really any US econs coming out of size here today. Was some econs coming out of Europe. Like I said, that's sort of our big sort of market driver here today. I'm not even quite sure how you interpret it. Yes, I think inflation is on the uptick. And unfortunately, the standard of living for a typical European is probably going to get much, 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 much more difficult over the next few years. Poor old Fjord. Poor old. Well, anyway, I mean, the situation there. I think on balance, the market generally is feeling relatively optimistic today. Don't see any real bombshells or anything being dropped. And then the econs themselves, inflation is, I mean, you might even argue that European inflation rate actually basically just came in line with expectations. It is interesting, the month over month number there actually negative. So that's a good sign for Europeans. Hopefully, that means maybe a little bit of price stability here going forward. Chinese, Chindica, I suppose, my funny little name for my fucked up country. The headlines right across the board are okay. GDP actually grew at 1%. Now keep in mind inflation's running at about 2.5%. So technically the economy is not really actually growing. And this is actually something that bothers me immensely about what Jerome's been doing recently. He's been talking about how awesome the US economy is and the recent growth GDP. I always like to try and show you this stuff, but man, it's so hard to do this on the fly. I think maybe I can do it this way. Yeah, here we are. So GDP 2.8%. But inflation rate, and keep in mind, like this is probably a generous reading. The core PCE, Jerome's favorite indicator, just came out and it was running 2.8%. So basically, Jerome sits there at these press conferences and interviews and talks about how strong the US economy is. But is it really? I mean, this is basically just flatline. The only strength is the fact that prices are being forced higher here. There really is no growth going on here. This is what leaves me scratching my head a little bit. I'm a bit surprised, to be honest with you. When I was sitting here thinking about this the other day, especially with the whole PCE, because that's their favorite indicator, and how they, the reporters recently, when asked the reporters were like, I don't understand why you're so optimistic, Mr. Powell. Of course, remember, he works for the banksters. So he does not work for the American public, which it's tragic how brutally corrupt all this is, because he literally stands in front of the American public and he says he works for the American public, but he clearly doesn't, especially with all this hyper money printing inflation crap that they're ramming down everybody's throats. But, this got to leave you scratching your head a little bit. I do not think that I think that the US economy itself is the strongest economy in the world by far. And like you look at China, I mean, what a joke. Winnie the Pooh. Remember, we used to sit and talk about, oh, there's China's growing at 5-10% annual. I don't even think that this is a real number, to be perfectly honest with you. And keep in mind that these guys, they cook the books all the time and everything. Told you lots of stories about how I used to have customers of mine, and they said, Brian, I've done business in China before. You buy something and half of the crap you have to throw out because it's just literally worthless garbage. And you're all familiar, of course, with things like shredded carpet and baby formula. You can't believe anything that's coming out of these idiots, which is so tragic. Anyway, it is what it is. This conversation is not about China. I couldn't give a F about them. This is really more just a conversation about, I might argue if this is a real number, the US economy is actually growing at 0.2%. That's not really much. Do we even dare look at Canada? I mean, you could make the argument that Canada really is actually shrinking here. And what's fascinating is when you go on social media, and it's always funny when you come on here because you never know what Alan's going to be trying to jam down your throat here. You really don't know. But anyway, this is actually the headline right now. Oh, yeah, the economy grew, but it didn't really grow because of that inflation problem. But if you actually look at it on a per capita basis, they keep in mind this Justin Trudeau doofus has literally opened the floodgates. Anybody who wants to come into China, that's why I call it Chindia now. Come on down. You're the next contestant in the Canada fraud scam. And the bastard still has about another 6 to 9 months of life left. And now he's jamming through a whole bunch more tax increases. It's incredible. You cannot write better fiction than reality. The inflation problem in Canada is inflation's going up, not down. And of course, they've got this absolutely insane real estate bubble happening in this country. But as long as the guy's in power, this is the same thing, exactly the same scenario as George Bush Jr. So as soon as the market determines, and I remember that I was a broker through all that and traded and the whole damn thing. And as soon as the market determined that there was no way in hell Dick Cheney was going to get elected, and usually what happens is if you have a two-term president, then the vice president just sort of walks right into office. So like if you think George Bush Sr., he didn't even really have much of a contest with Walter Mondale in 1988. It was laughable. He just walked into office. And I might argue that George Bush Sr. would have won the second election if it wasn't for H. Ross Perot, which is hilarious. Everybody's completely forgotten about Mr. Perot. And all they remember is how wonderful Bill Clinton was. But Bill Clinton would have never been elected if it wasn't for Mr. Perot. So anyway, that's here nor there. Point here is that as long as this doofus is still in power and he's got this crazy coalition minority government, as long as he's still in power, then it's just business as usual and they just keep doing this crap. And it's fascinating to see how bad the situation is. There you go. That's probably the best meme you could have for my country right now, you stupid jerk. I mean, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And this is an absolute beautiful testament. Ironically enough, the cycles actually turned here. And you should have been bullish of the US and bearish of China, Chindia, or whatever the fuck you call this shithole country I live in right now. Somewhere in here actually is where the market broke, but we had this nice little 6 different celestial events. And oh, by the way, I heard that another big celestial event is coming up here in the next month or two. This is totally off topic, and I have to have this call done here by 11:15. So we only have an hour and 45 minutes left. But do you guys want me to try and show you that big celestial event that's coming up here shortly? Give me some feedback here. Anyone? Mr. Glass Insights. Yes, please. All right. Well, you voted, so here we go. And this is one of the subtle one of the subtle features of TRI that we don't even really charge for, but it's incredibly valuable. We have this incredible library. I mean, God, you could spend forever just sitting watching videos and on the market and reading books and stuff on the market, links we have all over the net. And one of the fun tools that we have in here is this celestial calendar. It's always challenging to see whether this thing will actually load or not because it's very memory intensive, and you can see I have 532 million tabs open. So here we go. Let's see what happens. do 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 do. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's still working. This thing is very memory intensive. So let's hope that it doesn't crash. But if it does, we'll have fun. All right. So there is our solar system. And let's zoom out a bit. We don't need a lot of this other stuff on here. That's not what I wanted. Maybe here. We don't really need that. I suppose we can leave those on there. Hide that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. All right. Well, hopefully this should work. Douche. There we go. All right. Notice, look at that. Even right now. So this actually makes a lot of sense why we're going through the chaos that we are right now. Look at that. Mars, Earth, Venus, Ceres, and Pluto are all perfectly aligned here. But if I'm not mistaken, I think coming up here, I saw very soon. Notice Saturn, I think, and Neptune there are coming together. Well, let's see if we can do this. Are you going to move? Maybe you're not going to move. Oh, there we go. Oh, we can move backwards, but we can't move forward. Oh, boo. All right, there we go. All right, where is that event? I don't think it's that far. It's supposed to be in like, I think maybe even December, somewhere in here. That might be what they're referring to. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them all lining up. I don't remember seeing someone making reference to all of these guys lining up. No, I don't see anything there. So I guess this is the stressor right now. Something along those lines. So we got a whole bunch of sort of, what do you call that? It's like a confluence of orbital energies, if that's possible. I'm not quite sure. Also, too, Earth, Venus, Uranus. That's a fun relationship that we like to follow. I haven't really done a lot of this kind of celestial work in a while. Let's see, there is Uranus, there is Venus. Nothing really to get too excited about. You know what? I tell you what, I'll do a little bit more digging and let's see whether I can actually get a nice pretty picture for the Sunday broadcast for you. But I was reading somewhere that a big celestial event is coming up here with a lot of energies that's going to affect how we're doing. And I think that's it right there. So anyway, all right. Well, it was an interesting side comment on the market. You also might argue too, all that energy. I could understand why sort of the market's moving into this event. And then once the energies dissipate, then we'll see sort of a calming. I also noticed too, the humans themselves are acting a little screwy. I've seen some pretty erratic behavior over the past, I don't know, let's say 3 or 4 days in humans. You know, like I said, I had very interesting chats with this silly bank of mine yesterday and the day before. So keep in mind, in my country, this situation is very tenuous. In fact, and I don't really want to say this to these people, but I really wouldn't be surprised if we actually find out in the next year that one or two of these big Canadian banks actually goes tits up. And kind of like in the US when they had the 2008 financial crisis, there was the famous shotgun wedding between I think it was JP Morgan and who did they buy out? But it wasn't really a buyout. It was like a mercy killing. I want to say like Merrill or something like that. I can't remember which one it was. And of course, Lehman Brothers pissed everybody off in 1998 when they screwed over long-term capital management. So nobody was going to come to Lehman Brothers' rescue. And that's what you get for karma. That, you know, all of you should keep in mind Lehman Brothers going bankrupt there. That wasn't an accident. It was more revenge for their really bad karma and their bad business practices through the long-term capital management blow up. If any of you remember that, that was back in 1998. And it's a really, really good lesson in karma. You need to be good people. Don't fuck people over. When you fuck people over, it always comes back to haunt you. It might take years, it might take decades, but it always comes back on you. So try and be good human. That's my message for the day. Okay, we'll leave the celestial conversation for now, but that was an interesting tangent to go down for a few minutes. All right, so getting back on topic, as I said, econs coming out of Europe. I mean, basically inflation's coming back. Not a big surprise. They've been cutting rates dramatically. And what did they think, that the inflationary pressures were just going to magically disappear? And ironically enough, with these strong stocks and stock prices, as you see, I've told you before, stock prices themselves are inflation proxies. Stocks themselves going up is inflationary. That's rising prices. So if you see stocks booming higher here, there's no way in hell you're going to have inflation going down. It's just really a question of, is it just sort of like not going up as much as it was previously? Interestingly enough, we do have data coming out of China overnight. So it is interesting that the Japanese actually weren't overly impressed with today's action. And even the futures, you see Japan trading away actually down slightly. So that's kind of interesting. I'm wondering whether a lot of what you're seeing out of the US and to a certain degree, Canada, I think this is Canada down here. I'm wondering if a lot of this is just simply due to the fact that this is a low volume, low participation kind of day. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that the US stock markets actually here are going to close very shortly. So it's a shortened session, illiquid, path of least resistance is up. Everybody's enjoying their turkey buzz right now. Nobody's going to really shit on the market today. The question, of course, is what's the market going to look like after the holiday weekend? Because keep in mind, most of the pros just aren't even around today down in the States, right? In fact, actually, football games were really interesting. Really enjoyed watching them yesterday with Lily. You know what? I wanted to give you guys, and I'm just going to take a couple minutes, a little sort of quick pick at my life. Didn't take pictures. After I tell you this story, you'll thank me. So my beautiful son, love him dearly with all my heart. He is low functioning autistic, nonverbal. Um, he is very difficult for him to convey whether he's doing well or doing poorly. All you do is you just get behaviors that just explode out of nowhere. And it's, poor little guy. He lives a horrible life. Anyway, I take him out twice a week for nice long car rides. He loves car rides. And we did our thing yesterday. We were out off in the interior of BC. And we stopped in a grocery store because I wanted to pick up a couple things. And he likes, we'd stop in at McDonald's and get him his candy. Of course, McDonald's just went and raised prices 25% here. Sort of front running Trump's tariff. Fascinating. Not quite sure why they justify that, but I used to go to McDonald's with him and blow like 15, 20 bucks, not even thinking about it. We get a nice big meal and we're feeling all satiated with all the fats and all that crap. Then they started crank prices up, and now I won't even spend like $6 there. I'm so insulted by their prices. And the only reason why I buy that for him is because the taxpayers of British Columbia are actually buying his McDonald's. There's no fucking way I would spend money out of my pocket for that crap. Anyway, long and short of it is we were out in the middle of the countryside. We stopped in a convenience store, gas station. I want bathroom, please. Uh-oh. Those are the dreaded words. If you ever hear that, I want bathroom, please. Uh-oh. Okay. So we scrambled to find a bathroom for him, which is good. I always, have mapped out exactly where the pit stops could be. And of course, he decided to save his number two. Why? I don't know. But that's funny. And the problem, of course, is in public settings, him cleaning himself can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. So there's Dad in the middle of the BC countryside and some gas stop convenience store wiping my son, 24-year-old son's ass after he took a big dump in their bathroom. And doing it without reservation, not even thinking twice about it. I love him to death. And if he needs help, I'll step right in there and help him out. And that's my life. Like I said, that's my real job. And it's tough. So anyway, all right, back to market. Sorry, a little bit so you get to know me a little bit better and my crazy ass life I live. But I do say, and I love it, all of you, thank you so much for your karmic best wishes. I do actually think it does make a difference. I am a big believer in spirit, and as long as you just keep giving me best wishes, I'll just keep trying to be the best dad I can possibly be for the poor little guy. Anyway, okay, so back to market talk. Econs kind of light. It's US holiday. Obviously, this paints a really fun situation for speculative assets like crypto that are unregulated. And of course, as I had said earlier, half of my sales pitch here is to try and impart on you the significance of the market state that we're in right now. And also, too, and this will be a good opportunity for you guys to wake up and interact with me. When do we know that this market will actually come to an end, that the bull rally will be done? The what always rises what? How apropos with my story that I just gave you. So, a perfect analogy of that. And the funny thing is after you start booking like 3 or 4 or 5 doubles in price, it actually gets kind of difficult to actually even put the darn chart up because the prices are so insane. And keep in mind, only crypto is like this. I would say, no, actually, I'm not going to say only crypto. I mean, the venture cap market is like this too. So, basically junior stocks, penny stocks, all that kind of fun stuff. Where are we here? Profile. So it doesn't surprise me to start seeing this kind of behavior now. Because as we said there, and if anybody has any doubts of the validity of the system, you just open up your screen and look at what crypto has done here recently. You were supposed to have gotten your act together and be all ready to go through the month of October. And what a surprise. Thank you, Constantine. You're the only person who will placate me here. But, this is exactly what's supposed to happen. When are we supposed to buy when it's somethings? Sell when it's somethings? I mean, you guys know how this goes. So really, it shouldn't have surprised us to see this signal here. But the only problem is that does the breadth look like this? Like, oh my God, they're throwing the baby out with the bathwater. This market's gonna bottom. The public has absolutely no interest in this space whatsoever. Prices are really cheap. You got to get in there and buy. The problem now, of course, is that the market does not look like this now. Actually, it looks to be, frank, market's starting to look a little dangerous here. I don't think it's a good idea to use the breadth indicator itself as a market timing tool, because this measures the broader market. And unless maybe like you're following the S&P and you can actually trade the S&P signals, and even then I'm a little leery. The education program that we run, it specifically instructs you, if you're going to take a trade, try and find 3 unrelated reasons to justify you acting. And I might argue right now that, back in October here, this would have been one excellent reason for you to justify. In fact, you might even call this like quantitative analysis. The quants, right? When the market sentiment is completely washed out and everybody is bearish on both the short term and the medium term, it's time for you to actually start getting interested on the buy side. Very, very good illustration. But as I said there a second ago, we're not in that situation anymore, folks. So it's not really like this is a short. I wouldn't look at it like that. But what I would definitely say is, for God's sakes, don't go and chase, because the statistical odds of you actually probably coming in somewhere near the top here, maybe it takes a month or so for this to develop, that would not surprise me one bit with the way this looks. And if anything, we have to be patient and disciplined and wait for this thing to settle back down and give us a signal like this for us to start thinking about getting apeshit crazy bullish. So and remember, I'm the guy, I can't chase. Don't chase. So what it does mean is, unfortunately, with a lot of crypto names, and I thought what I'd do here today for you is just go through, we've set up this little Kraken account here as a demo. And as I said, I mean, this account has done very, very well here over the past month or two, but that's exactly what's supposed to happen. And I certainly don't think shorting is a good idea here whatsoever. This is not the right part of the cycle to even be thinking about shorting. So, let's take a moment and just remind everybody. Cost of money. Boom. Let's see if this is going to load. Trading view. All right. This is the part of the cycle where we should be expecting growth. Green arrows. Not red arrows. This is not the regression part of the market state. This is actually the growth part of the market state. Then if you want a crypto affirmation of exactly the same thing, and these two signals basically work hand in hand. Where is that page? That's this one. All right, looking at our long-term signals, right, our seasonal study, we are in the middle of crypto summer. Again, sort of corresponding with that 4-year money cycle. This is the 4-year crypto cycle. And we are in the part of the cycle where you do not want to fight this. And sadly, you're going to have a lot of new people here coming in. Probably, what sucks is that I might actually argue that making market calls here at this particular juncture, actually, it's dangerous both directions, because as you can see, the market has moved up substantially here. Remember our crypto signal, right? Crypto signal to buy came in right through here. And interestingly enough, October, you could argue that there's a big honking weekly W there, Brian. The one thing that kind of confused me about this was the fact that this tail was so big, and that we actually had a lower close here, which led me to believe that this correction was not done with. Having said that, you can see the market quickly recovered that, then had a nice consolidation. You might even argue that that's basic. I mean, this is not textbook, but you can kind of see this is kind of like a head and shoulders, if you can think of that clothesline as a head. And there's your neckline. So breadth, breaks out from oversold condition. Of course, we had the election. Remember, we had even Sjord commenting right here in the lounge. Gee whiz, Bitcoin sure looks like it's trying to bottom, all that kind of talk. We've had those conversations lots. And good call on you, Stuart. I thought that was a great trade there. I didn't personally take it, but still, I mean, it was there, and I've spent lots of time showing that to you guys over the past little while. And subsequently, we've had this monster move up here. Interestingly enough, I talked to you about parking garages and trading ranges. I think you could actually make an argument that this is also a trading range, and it's a cockeyed one, which is very difficult for most of the public to see. But I think you could actually, and this is where this sort of angled rectangle helps a lot. So you can go like boom. Gotta take the magnet off. But boom to boom, something like that. See, like that. And then clone that. And boom to zoom. Wow, what a big surprise. So I think that's kind of what's happening right now. I'd also say too that from just a pure range extension perspective, a basic concept that we teach in the level 1, we are now reaching up into areas of natural exhaustion. You can see we've got this trend channel top up here. This is also a really interesting trend line off of these previous peaks that's put up quite a bit of a fight here. Also, too, this is a big fat round number, $100,000. I can't see why that 100,000 wouldn't be traded to. If anything, if this thing didn't trade to that, now we did look at the futures, and they had traded at that 100,000, but I've actually said this to you before. If we actually back away here and then we consolidate and then we break out, that's actually extremely bullish. And frankly speaking, based on what we're expecting out of later in the year, maybe that is what needs to happen here. And we just don't tag 100,000 here in the near term. I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's interesting so far this week. Now, keep in mind, like I said, today's a funny holiday. I would not even be surprised that we do over the weekend, especially with these spot markets. Futures will be closed. All the adults are nursing turkey hangovers. I would not be surprised if they push this thing up here through the weekend. Also, too, usually, especially if we think about those trading range kind of conversations, usually the extensions love to rally right up to that 200% range extension. And what a great example this one was. Hey, look at that, hit that 200% on the nose, and then had to basically consolidate for 6 months. So I still like the idea of us working higher. The only question is like, do we have bit of a turkey hangover? We're coming into this funny little window here, the first or second week of December. Usually there's a bit of a pause, and I can't believe too much of the market information around a holiday weekend like this. This to me, especially like as I had said earlier, the what always rises last. And we see, actually, that's not the best place to show you. Just had it on the screen a second ago, but let's just, is it over here? Yep. The you know what always rises last. And this is, I mean, this is, I even put about this. This is actually getting borderline like record profits booked here. I think the absolute best trade from previous crypto cycles was, and somebody was even reminding me, Verge, which is like a porno coin. It did, I think, about 10 doubles. We also had Quacker XXDN. That was a fun one. Quack coin, quack. Remember when I used to always do that? Same sort of thing. So every cycle has these names. You never know which one it is. There's Lowball himself. Every cycle has these, and so that you never know who it is. If somebody was going to sit down with me and say, okay, of all your shit coins that you've got on Solana, which one is going to do like 6 doubles here in under a month? And there's no way in hell I could have predicted this, but it's not my job to predict the market. I have no desire whatsoever to get into the crystal ball reading business. The business that I want to be in is identifying trading ranges. And if I can sneak my way in below, 70, 80%, ideally 80% is the best, sneak my way in off of like 80% corrections of that entire range, and then just sit there and don't take too big of a bet. Because if this thing goes off the board, it goes off the board and it doesn't come back. So don't make damn sure you don't take too much risk on any one idea, and then just let your money work. And crazy ass shit like this can happen out of nowhere. And it's not my job here to predict where this thing's going to top out. It isn't. That's not my job. My job is just to simply I've got a really easy way to manage money. And it's simply, if the asset doubles in price, out goes another half. So my job is just to make damn sure to figure out what those double levels are and make damn sure that those orders are working. Because quite often you'll see these things go up, and I would not be surprised. And you never know where the hell the damn thing. You can even see that they did trade through my order to sell up here, but because this is DeFi, they don't have to give you a fill. And in fact, I was trying to buy another coin, one of these cat memes, because keep in mind, what always rises last? And would it make sense that something like Mona coin? I don't know whether you remember Mona from last cycle, but I made tons of money on the Mona that was traded out of Japan. The Japanese absolutely love these cats. They eat this shit up. Excuse my French. And interestingly enough, our CTO said, hey, a buddy of mine said, pay attention to this one. I pulled up the chart and I went, damn, this is an intraday chart. If we look at it on a daily, this thing's just started, right? How many of these damn things, especially Steven, he's a god at this, and he's in our little old lady room, one of our OGs. He loves to trade harmonics, so he's in the harmonics room. One of our quarterbacks in there. And I'd just be curious to see what Steven thinks about something like this. But when I pulled up that intraday chart of this thing and how it sort of put in a bottom, broke out, of course, the kids made a bunch of money there. Then it just got absolutely destroyed right back down to the original bottom. And then it started to put in this bottom. And I was like, I got to get in. I got to have some of it on the books. As long as I can get long from somewhere around this 56.24, I'm perfectly happy just going and buying some and just sitting on it. So that's what I did. And the good part about this is that this was financed with profits from another coin. So it's not my money that's in this Mona. It's these people's money that's, I don't know who it was that decided to buy off of me here, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. So I just took one of these profit fills here and went and picked up some of this Mona. Who knows what the hell's going to happen here? My hunch is probably when I'm driving down to California. and I'm buying steak dinners for, do I have to buy two? I don't know. But I think Adam said that he was going to pick up one of the steak dinners, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I don't want to euchre him. But if it's two steak dinners that I'm buying, it's two steak dinners. I'm not going to quibble. A deal's a deal. And if you bust a deal, you face the wheel. Oh, what movie is that from? Let's see if any of you know. Anyway, so the point of the matter here is this is the part of the market state where this kind of stuff goes crazy. And actually, it's interesting. I was even joking with the site people in that I said, I even put this in the lounge. I said, I can pretty much tell you exactly when this whale. I just read that. When this bull run will be over. You ready? Does anybody want to know? Hey, there you go, Mr. Cotter. If I start seeing you haggling again, though, you're gonna get the lowball moniker back. Anyway, what is our proxy that you can tell that we're just about to come to the end of this run? The answer? If you see, where the hell is he? Oh, and actually, it's interesting. If he's gone negative here, that might mean that this market's got some more legs. Oh, there he is. Oh, look at that. He's coming off too. Ah, interesting. This guy looked like he was trying to actually bottom here. Oh, there you go. So, geez, I think I hear the fire alarm going off in my building. It's crazy building. Can't write better fiction than reality. Anyway, maybe we could, oh, not interesting. I only gave you about an hour's time here. But the point of the matter here is you can see clearly if this guy goes and double bottoms here, then this will be officially, it's a bit cheeky, I'm sorry. And this poor guy, but frankly speaking, I don't think he's a trader. I certainly don't think he has any sort of understanding of. And actually, it's interesting. I heard somebody do an interview yesterday, this social media guy, and this seems to be a really popular thing lately. People literally become interviewers on social media. I think they call them podcasts or something like that. And they become famous in their whole business model. And of course, they're pleading, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button. And, there's one little cute little girl out of the States. She just literally says, all right, if you're watching this video for the first time and you like, cool, give us a thumbs up. If you're watching this video for the second time and you like, then you have to hit the subscribe button. And I would say exactly the same thing to all 50 of you. If you've been here before and you haven't hit the subscribe button, what the hell are you doing? Hit the subscribe button now, please. And I gotta say, I absolutely love her attitude. She's a cheeky little one. And that's the one good thing I like about certain Americans is they're unabashed about saying, hey, hit the goddamn subscribe button now. Anyway, yeah, I'm Canadian, so of course I'm not going to be like that, but nonetheless. So when this guy starts going, and last cycle it was exactly the same. As soon as this guy sort of woke up and started to rally, and keep in mind these damn things can move up dramatically. As soon as this guy starts rallying and going crazy, of course, thank heavens I was able to get a double off there, so no risk on owning this. And oh Lord, look what happens. So my caution to all of you, and it doesn't look like it's happening now. You notice that through the end of the summer, this thing started to perk up. Then we got into October, and then it just totally collapsed when we went through that crypto meltdown there. And of course, while the broader market is melting down, and okay, you can start looking at these things, nobody will touch this thing, right? Because the market is absolute crap. So when you see everything all right up top, right? When My hunch is probably when you see things like Bitcoin is up in the top of the parking garage and banging up against 4669s and 2.618s and all that kind of fun stuff, then you're probably going to see Mr. Zach coming alive here and going crazy. So take a screenshot of that, get the symbol. I think this is your proxy for when the end of this move comes. And it's not here now, so that's good. But if this thing starts taking off and starts rallying, then we probably are the days of this rally are limited. All right, so I've said my piece there. So cute little name. And I thought a good function that I would do here is just simply show you like what is it the kind of stuff that Brian buys. This is our sort of public broadcast. Would love to encourage you to come on the site. I do these Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, these videos. Usually they're 2-3 hours. My building might be burning down here though, so I might have to get the hell out of here. So I don't think we're going to do the video too long today. It's kind of a shame because I did want to walk you through the screeners, but I'm not quite sure why that fire alarm's not going off. Oh, Jesus. Never a dull moment in this place, that's for sure. Anyway, there's a good example of something that I actually think is worth taking a shot on. If I hit it, then I'm unsubscribed. Oh, because you already hit it once? Oh, cool. Interesting. Little Bubble releases a new Bitcoin rap song. That would be like Remy. If we start to see videos coming out at Remy, oh boy, that's a warning sign that things are getting overdone. But I don't think we're anywhere near there. And I still firmly believe that pullbacks are buying opportunities. So with that said, why don't we pop on over, take a few minutes before the building burns down, and let's go and look at some of the buy orders I'm working, and that way, at least you can get an idea of how I approach the market. I have, of course, there is my list, and you can see quite a few names are up, so I can't really do much buying over here. But hopefully this gives you an idea of what it is I am interested in. And like I said, I'll just go through some of the bids that I'm working in, and that way, if it's of any benefit to you, awesome. All right, so here's one that I'm very interested in. Again, hopefully you look at that Mona coin and you see basically the same pattern here. I am more than happy to be long, and oh, by the way, beautiful W right off that damn level, and then another one. More than happy to be long from what is that, 71. So what a big surprise. I pull up my order book, and actually I think I can do this. Let's see, I go trades. I don't think this will show too much information. Keep in mind, this is just a smattering of our actual exposure in crypto. And if anything, it's probably better if I talk to you. I don't show you like accounts with hundreds of thousands of dollars in them, because then that just paints a target on my head and some clown's going to come and fucking whack me. But you can see here, these are my buy orders. I've labeled them here for you, and I thought just as a public service I would show you what it is I'm trying to do. So you can see CXT trying to buy there at 71.62, and if anything, hopefully what you see is that, well, Brian actually just does what he said he's going to do, and that is a huge determinant of whether you're actually going to survive and actually make it at this game of trading. And actually, we had a really interesting conversation. Ed, our day trading guru, in our day. I mean, we've got a few day trading gurus on the site, but Ed loves using the order book and TPOs and stuff. So I actually have him come in. He'll be talking to our level 3 program students on this coming Tuesday. Actually, that's the module on trading with the Dom. So super excited about that. But anyway, the point of the matter here is he had a really great conversation with another one of our up and coming traders who is aspiring to, get professional. And ironically enough, half of this game is how do you say this? stop watching and actually start doing. So things like, well, I bark at you about how much I love 71.8s. Well, then buy the damn level, as opposed to just watching it. And then 6 months later, you go, God damn, if I had only just bought that damn 78.6 level, blah, 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 blah. Right. So, point here is hopefully what you're seeing here is that I actually do what I say, right? And of course, a lot of these names that I've already banged out doubles on, like this bat here, for example, it's damn difficult to come in there and just place my order. And I literally got filled on the bottom of the candle, right down at the bottom end of the range. But you zoom out on this chart and you go, well, that's not a bad place to go shopping down there and pick some up. And lo and behold, look at what happens on the other side of that. I mean, it's just crazy. In fact, I think actually one of these is just about, might even give me a double here as we speak. EOS. Well, here's a great example of putting your money where your mouth is. EOS is a sell order I have working. Oh, these are all the buy orders. Excuse me. I'll show you a sell order here just to tease you. EOS trying to sell there at 92. I might even be banging out a double while I'm talking to you. Where are we now? 91.68 was my high. Ooh, do you think I'll get my fill here before I'm done? Good to hear the fire alarm went quiet there, so that's a good sign, I suppose. 91.37. Come on, baby. This is, if anything, I love this part of, I mean, is there any better position to be in if you're playing the speculative game? Isn't this the way you want to be? Like what I do is on this site, I'll just sit and I will post, let's see if I can find it here for you. And I do this, and whether it be a futures trade or whether it be a shit coin or whether it be Bitcoin or whatever. I love, and really, oh, look at that, 91.65. They're coming for my order. Woohoo. I mean, like, I'll just post this. I'll be like, come on, baby, come on. Here we go. I mean, this is so perfect, right? I'll even put maybe I don't know, 10-minute chart or something. And what's so funny is look how they're just gapping the market higher here. I mean, the market's just moving blindly. So, for fun, let's put the line here at 92 even, and we'll even put an alert on it. So the system will go crazy here if that's traded to, and then if that gets filled, then and that alarm goes off, Brian's making money from trading. I mean, that's the whole point of this exercise, isn't it? So anyway, where did I put that? Oh, it's Discord, wasn't it? All right, so there's good old Kramer. Oh, I love this. I mean, this is the absolute best way. Oh, there's an image for you. It looks like, actually, it looked like Liam in the bathroom there yesterday. Anyway, I tell you, man. Well, no, you know what? We don't need to have that conversation. Anyway, there's Liam in the bathroom, or Brian trying to get a fill. One of the two. And actually, probably somebody's watching this that's over at Kraken right now and going, oh, you know what? We're going to step in front of that guy. No way. Oh, you can see, there we are. Oh, that's an old one. Oh, isn't that interesting? So offer to place the 2x sell order was entered on the 26th of July. 26th of October. So there's a good example where really I enter the buy order. 26th of October is right there. So literally the day that I got filled, I literally placed the sell order. And actually somebody on the site was even joking with me the other day saying, Brian's like totally, what was the term that they used? It was so cool. He was literally, I can tell you exactly where I'm going to buy and sell months ahead of time, literally months ahead of time. And my job is not to predict where the hell this thing's going, because I can absolutely guarantee you, abso-fucking-lutely guarantee you, there wasn't a single person on this planet that knew that that was just about to happen. No one. I'm not in the business of predicting what's going to happen, because often this shit happens completely out of the blue. And most people are like, holy crap, how did you see that coming? I didn't. My plan was just simply I force myself to come in at the bottom end of ranges. I draw my reload zones, try and sneak my way in at the bottom. And this one, I got damn lucky. I'll tell you that much by crackers. But it was like 88.6 fill. It wasn't like the low. I had to actually take a bit of heat on this. And oh, look how close we are. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. We're going to either have a kid or we're going to get a fill here. It's one of the two. Anyway. Wow. So this is what I do. This is what we do at TRI. Is there any better sales pitch that you want to come and do exactly this? Let's see whether I just about, come on, give me a double here while I'm talking. Anyway. All right, so I teased you earlier because I said I was going to show you what I'm trying to buy. Instead, all I'm doing is showing you what I want to sell. So let's keep moving down the list here on the buys. So I showed you that CXT. Love that. More than happy to buy that. But of course, does CXT look like this right now? Of course not. It actually looks like it was down here. There it is. It's a beautiful chart. Absolutely beautiful. I hope I haven't missed it. I might have missed this. But can you understand here? I'm not given permission to chase. I have to work my bid. And you can see these days, I mean, there are many of these days here where it looked like the market was going straight up to the moon. And then all of a sudden, something happened midday and the floor just fell out of the market. So you can't chase. You're not allowed to chase in this game. Here's another one. There's W. Look at that pretty little bottom. Beautiful W. I mean, that's this one, 2179. You see that there's a nice tail there. Hoping to goodness we can get a nice dip down against those lows. If I draw a simple trend line. Well, anyway, you know what? I could spend all day here talking to you guys about these individual trades. I'm just going to give you the levels, just let you know where it is I'm bidding. And then if you want to join me, great. If you don't, I don't really care one way or the other. I think I've told you all before, my job is not to tell you what to buy or sell. I don't really care what you buy or sell or what you do with your money. My job is to just simply try and show you how to play the game. And then ideally what ends up happening is we all sort of work together to try and find half decent ideas. You know how much Brian loves his W's. And I don't know, you tell me, has that thing got any room to move up at all? So you should look at this and go, yeah, that's got Brian written all over it. Public is not interested whatsoever. But right now, yeah, it makes sense why Brian's interested. So here's another one for you. GAL. Let's see what I'm trying to do here. This was one of Julian's names from back last year that he was kind of interested in from sort of, I think, the social media touters and all that kind of fun stuff. Well, I mean, you look at the price chart, there was all the stupid public when I was down there in California trying to, and what was so sad is I remember when we were down in El Salvador, there was a gentleman there and he thought he was all fucking the shit. And H bar was the coin that he was all in love with. Adam, are you on the call? Do you remember that guy? Do you remember what his name was? Remember he was like asking, hey, has anybody got any cocaine? Remember that? He and his girlfriend and his wife or whatever. Hey, has anybody got any cocaine? It's like, sorry, dude, I don't do that shit. No, not interested whatsoever. And anyway, he was all fucking hyped up on this H bar. Let's see what happened to him. Yeah, so you can see the damn market was moving higher. I don't know whether we got flushed out of here, but look at that. I'm sure at this point he was feeling all good. And then look at what happened afterward. Holy crap. That's probably like a cocaine hangover. And then interesting, look at that damn window. And that crypto market gave us that buy signal. Look at this thing just straight up. Again, and don't bullshit me. I don't care. There was nobody in the world who was looking for this to happen here. Nobody. And really, it's not your job to predict the future. The one thing that scares me about the names like this, though, is notice that's a V bottom. I mean, we couldn't even hold these lows. Now, by definition, what's supposed to happen to V bottoms? This will give you an opportunity to interact with me over there on YouTube. Does anybody know the answer? And if you don't know the answer, for God's sakes, write this down in your journals. You should all have your journals in front of you right now. Yeah, he never got his cocaine, did he? Totally. You remember that guy? Oh, here's. Hey, and Connor was down there in Central America with us too. Man, that was such a weird experience, eh? Wow. Anyway, so the fact that this thing made a new low, this is the one thing that scares me about this. Because what's the expression that I use? Let's see if any of you guys can remember what I say. I'll give you the first part. Let's see if you can remember the second part. Too far. And then how's the rest of that go? Too far. Something. Excellent, Greg. Gregor. You fucking Gregor. Oh, actually, that's a completely different reference. God, I totally missed those days of sassy. So this is kind of looks suspicious. I mean, look at this thing here, right? V bottom, and it did this, and you go, all right, it's never coming back. I'm going to get rich, blah, blah, blah. And what does it do? It spends the next 6 months just breaking your heart. So I'm a little leery at the fact that that's a V bottom, and of course, straight up. And do we now spend like 3 or 4 months grinding our way back down? And of course, you know, Brian, if I'm gonna buy, it's interesting. I might be interested in these old resistance levels. They always say what was resistance often turns into support. What was support often turns into resistance. That to me looks like a really interesting neighborhood. Also notice too this back and forth battle here. So if I was going to work a stink bid on something like this, it would be all the way down here. And because it's so far, I'm probably not interested in a name like this right now. Anyway, this was our cokehead buddy down there in Central America. I'm not. I suppose if this thing does come down here, maybe I'll put alerts or something like that. I'll maybe think about it, but no, I wouldn't do anything there now. Okay, just moving on this story here. GAL was the next one we were looking at. And hey, do you see the difference in names? Do you see why I would be interested in something that looks like this versus that H bar? What letter of the alphabet does this thing have working? And oh, by the way, it is actually valid and working as we speak. And what time is it? Oh, it's 10:21. Gonna have to wind this part up pretty soon. I did want to go through this with you and give you some, literally give you actionable information. You want to join me? You're more than welcome. But understand, don't be shocked if Brian tells you, well, I am bidding. Where am I bidding? Let's see if I'm close on this one. GAL. And let's do a quiz. And we'll make this nice and easy. And I think we'll leave it at this one. And then we'll move on to the next candy that I wanted to show you here today. Because I have to have this call finished here in the next half hour, 40 minutes. Let's go like this. And we'll go like this. And now you tell me, where do you think Brian has his bid working? Yeah, we could probably also do one off of here. Over here. Mind you, that's a new low. So, yeah. But anyway, interesting. Where does Brian have his bid working? Just give me a ballpark. And actually, this makes it even easier. I won't even stress you out. Where does, considering that we actually have this W working, that's looking pretty good right now. And I might even draw a nice little box in here. But to make it really easy for you, you can come up with the answer in like 2 seconds. Where is Brian willing to be long this name? Boom. What does this say? Again, it's just rinse and repeat. It's the same old, same old. Nothing changes here. And if I do see this alert go off, then that means, boom, I've hit a home run. I'm obviously filled. Hopefully you can see this. This is pretty straightforward stuff. Where is YouTube? Oh my goodness, there's too many tabs. Where's that YouTube page? Oh, I see. I have it over here. I'm going to put this over here now. Did anybody answer? Hey, very good, gal. You got it, right? Proof of the pudding's in the eating. GAL. Actually, this is your name. Wow, that's a bit freaky. 184. There's my bids. Right? I'm basically an open book. Ironically enough, I'm actually pretty damn cliche what I do here. Don't be shocked if Brian's telling you he's going to come in on the buy side. Is it your coin? Fuck me. I was wondering what this story was. Are you friends with Julian? I put on 78.6 just before you did. Anyway, Julian was all interested in this name back last spring. And then, of course, what I do is I say, all right, fine. You've got fundamental reason. All right, sounds good. Now I will show you the technical reason to justify actually investing. And now who can tell me if you have a fundamentally sound idea? And I don't know the fundamentals here. I can't comment on the fundamentals. We might find, I don't know whether you guys asked Julian about this recently, but we might even find that he doesn't even like this anymore. But I'm very interested because now we have a technical justification to be interested in this name. So what do you call that? When you have a fundamentally justifiable idea and now a technically justifiable idea. We call that what analysis? What's the whole point of what I'm trying to? Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Adam. Somebody placated me. So, okay, gave you a few ideas that I'm working orders on. Nice little treat for anybody watching this in the public. Don, you're going to trigger me here, Cotter. I don't want to be getting into some sort of word milieu with you. So anyway, what I'm just going to simply say here is this is my karmic treat for all of you. I've given you about 3 or 4 ideas that I'm either buying today or I'm working orders on. Consider it, PMA for the win. Making a positive difference in this world. I have no vested interest in you participating in these names. I'm not going to be insulted if you're like, oh, I don't want to touch that piece of crap. No big deal. This is just me just being an open book and sharing with all of you. I guess I never got my double A. Oh, that's too bad. I was kind of hoping that would. Oh, 90.8. Where were we before? Oh, look how close we are. 91.77. Kramer wasn't barking loud enough. Oh, well. I have no doubt whatsoever over the next week or two that this, well, probably through the weekend that this gets filled. I'm not stressed about it whatsoever. And I mean, would you be stressed if you're long from here and you're sitting wondering whether I'm going to actually get a sell order? There's no stress involved in this whatsoever. Anyway, okay, so now on to the main event. And of course, this is why I really want to encourage you to take a serious look at this Black Friday event window here. And I would love to have you all participating in the site. I know Stuart has been working his tail off to try and get this thing available for this Black Friday window. So way to go, Stuart. I think to all intents and purposes, he has hit a sort of minimum objective in that. And then I got to figure out which screen I have this on. And where we take the conversation next. Which one is it? Well, I'm just going to start hitting buttons. It's one of these. Is it this one? Yeah, I think it is. Hey, look at that. All right, so I've already given you the sales pitch on why this crypto signal was so damn powerful. And I will illustrate every single time. I've even pinned these messages to the team room so that the team sees these messages. Interestingly enough, this is not a signal in the stock market. This was a very specific signal in the crypto market. And of course, you've seen what's happened. I mean, it's ridiculous. So the next time you see one of these signals, are you going to pay attention? I think you probably should. And of course, the end result is this kind of craziness, right? And maybe I'll get my fills on XRP. And I mean, there's just so many doubles. If anything, this was so perfectly timed. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jojo. OMG doubles. Size just keeps spitting out more and more doubles. Just never stops. What else did we do here? Jesus. This one was bad basic attention. I like this actually because this is the Brave browser coin. Then we had, of course, Cripple and Stellar go absolutely insane. I mean, is this absolutely perfect testament to what happens on the backside of those crazy ass buy signals? What we've actually built now, which makes me super, super excited, and this was the whole point of this exercise, is the screener systems that we've built are primarily, they're supposed to be based around all the topics that we teach in our school program. So SIZEUSDT's actually gone ahead and added a whole bunch of these signals, like 13 EMA, 30 SMA. Of course, I think I've had long conversations. In fact, actually, this is Cotter's Brian Bias. Jesus, he should pay me a royalty every time he uses this system. Nobody else in the world is going to teach you that 13 EMA, 30 SMA cross system. That's for darn sure. Key reversals. Nobody out there in the world follows key reversals. Without a shadow of a doubt. And actually, I'd be just curious. This always dangerous to do this live. Let's see whether we've actually gotten any key reversal signals here on. Oh, hey! You hear that? What does that mean? That's not the fire alarm. Yeah, that's the magical sound of Brian making money from trading. Now I have to find the screen that I was on. Oh, isn't that interesting? No key reversal signals. That's too bad. I was kind of hoping to show you that. But we have like all of the screeners in the database spit out. And then I just come on here. And I say, all right, show me. And the cool part about this is you can do this post. I should turn that alert off. It's going to drive us crazy. Where is it? Oh, and it turned itself off. That's interesting. There it is. 91.94. All right. And just to show you, I'm a man of my word. Let's see whether we got a fill. Phil. What do you call a man with no arms and no legs in a hole in the ground? Phil. What do we got here? Trades. Oh, look at that. Oh, interesting. It traded 92, but they did not give me a fill. That's kind of interesting. Maybe this might be like the futures where it has to trade like one tick above your price to actually get a fill. What does that say? Oh, I guess that says 93, not 92. Ah, what a knucklehead. That's hilarious. So what's going to happen here? It'll trade 92, Brian. Yep, it'll trade 92. Not going to go up anymore. We'll see what happens. Let's go. We got to bump that up to 93. Well, I don't know. Well, you know what? We'll even do like 93.0 something. So then that way, if it trades there, then I'm done. 92.08. Come on, you knuckles. Let's get going. Anyway. All right. So a little bit of a tease there. Sorry. That was not a good showing. Okay. So let's head back on over to the screener. So now these are all the screeners that SIZEUSDT has operating right at the moment. And these are all the different markets. You can filter by the crypto markets. And I love the fact that they have. It's yours. Put these charts on here because now I can just quickly peruse. Just show you any screener signals that have come up. So Hedera, I think these are probably like short-term momentum signals. Really, only two, not that much. What I did see, what I'll show you is, let's go, oops, crypto, and it kind of makes sense. You're not going to have a hell of a lot of signals out of crypto right now because the market's moved up so egregiously. But if we just show like all the screeners, all the tags, do we get anything useful here? This is last 72 hours. This is both daily and weekly, and these are long signals. You can see a whole bunch of golden crosses here. That's interesting. Market structure lever signals. Love those. Actually, so this makes a lot of sense. The golden cross signal here, because when we looked at the grid, we just saw a whole bunch of really, really uppy markets. Keep in mind, golden cross, death cross. That's basically the 50 period moving average crossing the 200 period moving average, golden crossing up, death crossing down. So actually that does make sense why we saw on that grid all those assets up at the top. Let's come in here and let's go, well, let's just do the market structure levers. This was formerly known by a different name, but I like this because what is market structure, right? Those are M's and W's. So what this is basically saying is we're all part of the international. In fact, you know who we are? We are, let's see if I can find this. Something like that. There we are. We are all these people. So good old Bert and his international. Oh, what the hell is all this crap? Oh, that's too bad. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Anyway, here's Bert, and we are these people. The National Association of W Lovers. That's what we are. So you can think of that as market structure, right? That's another way to describe this. And look at all these beautiful signals. Interesting how so many signals coming out of my country. Keep in mind that stock prices usually move up when currencies actually move down. And you've heard me barking about how my dear leader is completely destroying our currency, and it is getting ripped apart in the international currency market. So not a big surprise, a lot of bullishness here. But the interesting thing about this is the industries that are bullish. And of course, this crazy ass Canadian housing market is just nuts. But look at the companies that are actually doing well. Canadian Apartment Properties, Crombie Real Estate Investment, Interrent Real Estate Investments, Manulife Financial Company, CI Financial. Isn't that interesting? Two big life insurance companies. Northwest Healthcare Properties. It's crazy. So you can see how heavily tilted my country is to the real estate business. This is nuts. And, you know, the cool part about it is you pull up these charts, and anybody looking at these charts, you go, oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, you tell me, do I like when I see W's and indicators? That is what the name of this screener is market structure lovers. And of course, this is actually based on the W's in RSI, W's in OBV, W's in price. I mean, look at that chart though. It's absolutely beautiful. And of course, this is a nice 3-bar fractal right there and a beautiful signal. I mean, would you like to get these signals in your email? They look freaking incredible. So it is interesting to see how, you know, we just pulled up the screener. It's working now. And these are all various different screeners, but hopefully what you see is a common theme. Look at the W's, right? Because remember, we're the International Club of W Lovers. This is a Tormont Industries. Look at those W's. Oh my goodness. That's just like sex in a bottle. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. Oh, we've got, this is an anomaly. This is the one problem that we have with our stock screener right now is we do have these situations where you get these violent gaps, and unfortunately it does spit out kind of odd signals. So not everything's a total no-brainer, and I wouldn't just go and buy these things carte blanche. Obviously, you got to pull them up, but if you pull it up and you see all the information that you like to see when you're thinking about investing, well, that makes common sense. So look at this real estate proxy. Oh my goodness, these charts are just ridiculous. Ooh, this was the healthcare one. Look at this funny healthcare properties, which doesn't make sense. What are they? And what I've seen happen here in China, which is very bizarre, is universities are actually building condos on their university property. What? Not residences for students to live in, but condominiums to be selling. And I think what happens here is they build the condos to sell to quote unquote investors, all the fucking money laundering, money pouring in from China and shit. And then, of course, they turn around and they rent the condos to students that are going to school at the university at absolutely insanely horrific high rental rates. I mean, it's the most beautiful Ponzi possible. Anyway, you tell me, looking at that chart, does that look like something that the Beamish might be interested in? I don't know, give me some feedback here. What's Michael saying here? Wow, what are you keep looking at the same of think and not going to do much from no other day? Oh boy, there's a mess. Did PLTA trade today and don't see any volume? All right. What are you looking at? On Monday, going to see profit taking on all by the charts and new coming. Don't answer questions which I ask you why PLTA has no volume. Okay, well, that's different. I'm not quite sure what that person, Michael, maybe you could just slow down and just form a complete sentence and just ask a question. I'll be more than happy to try and help you. I mean, we could pull the chart up. PLTA. You like that? 92.29. Come on, you bastards. 92.41's the high. Oh, can I get filled here? How much time do I have? Got 19 minutes left. Oh, come on, give me a fill, you bastards. All right. What do we want to look at? PLTA. Where's the best place to look at this? Maybe we'll look at it over here. And actually, this is not my stock screen. That's my crypto screen. Where's stocks? Look at that chart. My God. I think I got to go and buy some of this right here. Look at that W. It's so fucking beautiful. Damn. Stone cold honky. In fact, when I pulled this up and I was like, oh, Sjord's like, all right, Brian, take a look. I've completed it. I made it on time. And I looked at this and I went, oh my God, Wet Dream Central. What's this one? Let's see what the hell this is. This looks like it's another property name. MC. What do we got here? Moat Hennessy. Oh, Louis Vuitton. Oh, yeah, expensive European stocks. But you tell me, can you see the W and the price there? And you see the W in my beautiful Delacour index. Actually, it's going to put in a second W here. Look at the 200 period moving averages. It's all the way up top. I hate to say it, but that's a buy. I mean, it just is. It's nice and simple. I mean, this is it. This, and keep in mind, you can get this in your email, right? This report can just be sent to you nice and politely in your email. Absolutely love this. Now, as it stands right now, this is just sort of like all of the signals, all piled together. So you see a lot of signals like this one here, for example, right up at the top end of the range. That's probably like a momentum signal. And things like the bot setup or just trend continuation signals versus, of course, Brian, whenever he's buying, he's a cheap ass. So he wants to see names that are right down at the bottom end of the range. So let's see whether we can. Oh, interesting. So we even have some crypto names in here. It looks like there was a crypto momentum signal there. Look at this little one. What's this? Daimler. Oh, yeah. Because remember the Daimler Chrysler. Stellantis, I think the company's called. They're dying 1,000 deaths right now. But does it not make sense? Look at that. 200 period moving average is sitting at 63. Here's the stock at 52. Could you do like a bull call spread? Maybe buy like the 50, I don't know, 57 and a halves and write maybe like the 60 or the 62 and a half. Probably 57 and a half to 62 and a half. So that'd be $5 if you could do that spread for maybe a buck or so. I think that's a pretty damn good looking trade. And actually, speaking of which, I'm trying to do this on Microsoft right now. And actually, I think Microsoft spat up a cool signal there the other day on here. I don't know how long ago that was, though. Anyway, and was that the end? One of three. So still two more pages of signals. Oh, that dimer looks beautiful in there. So, I mean, the question here is, would there be of any value to you to get these kind of reports just in your email on a daily basis? Look at the bond market. Isn't that interesting? So 30-year treasury bonds spitting up buy signals. 2-year treasury bonds picking up buy signals. Look at that cute little W. What's that? That's the Indonesian ETF. So you can go and invest in Indonesia. Oh, look at that. Look at Germany. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Do, 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 do. Anyway, down, up, down, breakout. And you're going to get bum rushed at the Wild Wild West. I can't tell you how giddy I am about this. This is just fucking cool as shit. I mean, look at that indicator signal. I get the distinct impression Germany is about to rally here. That's so cool. Oh, man. Thank God we find. When are we going to get to the fireworks factory? Well, we're here, you idiot. We finally made it. Oh, this is so awesome. And keep in mind, these are signals going back over time, right? You can look at this and just simply say, you know what? This is over the last 72 hours. So, you can look at this as a and remember, this is just the market structure lovers. So this is like a whole bunch of W's, one after the other. I mean, we can look at any of these. I mean, we can look, I don't know whether we want to look at these China D's names. I mean, not many of you are that interested in China. Isn't that interesting? Look at that, everybody. Intel spat up a market structure lover signal. Oh, I want to see what that looks like. Isn't that interesting? I was on the, yeah. Oh, son of a gun. Didn't even see that. Let's see what we got. And I'll tell you what, so that was my tease. And, my job over the next few months is to simply show you these signals. And right now, all you're seeing is the signal in real time. And what you now need to see for you to go, oh my God, this is incredible, is you need to see after the fact. In fact, there is that bond market signal that we talked about, and you tell me, are those bonds moving up there? Is that thing a buy? Sure looks like it, eh? So, this is kind of a situation I don't like to chase, but, the system is obviously telling you, hey, pay attention. I love the idea of, especially like working an order if I wanted to get in on this trade here, somewhere between 115.85 and 116. This could be probably a good example where you have like a 1 or 2 day dip, and I would be buying the dip kind of idea. And I think that there's probably some room to move higher here. Having said that, can't chase. Everything that we learn at TRI about, trade location, indicator confirmation, price structure, go, it's all exactly the same. Nothing changes. So don't go and just, throw caution to the wind and just market buy or sell. Okay, I wanted to see what Intel looked like. I'd be curious to see what the indicators actually look like here. All right, so you can see all the little W's that all came in here. Yeah, I'm not going to say it's compelling. Yeah, it's okay, but I can see a little W there, a little W there, a little W there. Yeah, kind of wishy-washy. But I did see that was interesting, though, is I noticed that there were, look at these W's that are coming in here. So this is ASML. That's the big European semiconductor stock. So it's finally trying to bottom. And Applied Materials, AMAT. Look how he's trying to double bottom here. So I think I can understand the theme that's going on here. It'll be curious, and I'll be very curious to see how things like AMD Act kind of rejected off of his trendline test. So I don't think, and if we look at things like market structure signals, are we going to get any W's that come in here? A little bit of a MACD div there, so that was encouraging. I think the trend line here, though, is just too much resistance in the short term. And then we got that big, ugly reversal bar. So, not a lot to get excited about. Having said that, interesting that we got that that little market structure lover signal there on Intel. Just moving right along the list here. Was that this one? Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to look at Intel, and now to placate that person, let's go look at Palantir. I have a feeling there's no way in hell I could touch this stock here now. So just be forewarned. Don't be surprised. Oh, 92.56. You cocksucking son of a bitch. Where are we at? 92.95. Come on, give me a goddamn fill, you bastards. That's hilarious. 92.95. That's great. If I don't get filled, I'm not gonna cry, but still. All right. Let's move over here. And let's go here. And where is a stock chart? Oh, yeah, that's this stuff. All right. Let's head on over here. We can do it over here. This works. Okay. PLTR. Let's see what we got. Palantir. Ugh, yuck. There's no way in hell I could buy something like this. I just couldn't touch it. So first and foremost, I suppose if we want to look at the trending signal, that is where you should have been interested. Where's that Michael Anthony? So can you see the W that came in down here? Can you see Brian's TRI bullish bias turning up here and how it stayed trending long this whole time? So clearly you're coming late to the party here. No way I could touch this here. Just couldn't do it. I might argue the reason why there's so little volume is probably because a lot of people in the public look at this and go, you want me to buy this up here? What are you, crazy? Don't mean to be rude. Sorry. And if anything, you should be able to pull up a chart here and tell me exactly where you think I would be willing to buy something like this. It's pretty easy. Oh, hello. Somebody just posted a half decent ID there in the lounge. Who was that? That was Cole. Yeah, Cole. Cole's such a fucking badass trader, I'll tell you, man. Hello. There you go. Is that the note I end the video on? All right. I can't really do it unless let me turn that off. I can't really bark about this unless we actually have a fill. Goddamn tease. All right, so there we go. It's a fucking miracle. Brian's making money from trading. Yay! EOS sell. Nicely done. Throw another $400 on the Barbie. Awesome. All right, so there you go. So now you can actually say, hey, that Beamish guy, he doesn't actually lie to us. He actually does what he said he's gonna do. Imagine that. Let's see. I guess now we've got to put our do I sit here? Oh, I guess Kramer. I guess now you know what we need. Now we need a picture of him with a nice, happy, calm face. Like he just pulled a Liam, and and now he is relieved. All right, so let's put up here. We can say SHOD. Shod filled. Yay. And not 92, 93. Damn it. Don't you lie to me, Beamish. All right. So, yay. Nice. And again, couldn't have done this without that breadth indicator telling me, Brian, get off your fucking ass and get in there and start buying. And sure enough, boom, that's how you make money from trading. And now you should all see exactly where I'm more than happy to go and buy this whole position right back. And this is a really good example of that concept called cars. So we've already been in this, and we already have coins from in 23 when I bought with the gang, and of course sold halves on those doubles. So this was car one over here. I haven't done the write up, but I'll do this later on. So think of green as car one, and now this is car two. Maybe we'll call that orange. So go in there. And I think I bought this W down here, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember exactly, but something along those lines. And then we'll clone this, and this would be the green, something like that. Boom, boom. Maybe we'll even make this green. I don't know whether you can see that or not. Something like that. And now this is yellow orange, right? So this is your first car. And actually, I was even telling somebody else, and it's kind of cheeky, but nonetheless, this is how you get rich playing this game. And it actually isn't too difficult. You just got to do it. Remember earlier, you heard me barking about, hey, quit talking about it and do it. Where is that Twitter page? I think I did it over here. I think it was on something other than size. I think it was like one of these regular old coins. Was it this one? Yeah, I think it was this one. So each of these cycles, and every cycle, it's exactly the same. Nothing ever changes. So I take a little bit of money, and every 4 years, you can do this, people. Write this down. You take a little bit of money, and back, like I said, in 2023, I went and bought a whack of this thing, and it went zooming up. And then I got my original capital back, selling halves on doubles. I mean, you can find those tweets. I suppose I could attach them to this if you really need. Then I let the market come back down, and I take that original capital and I go and buy position back. And now, so I have my first car. He's already bought and paid for. I guess here's car one. He's bought and paid for. By the time we're here, I've got the free coins from this position, but I have my original capital back. I just wait for another buy signal, and now, boom, strap on a second car. And now, boom, this second car has now been filled. So now, technically, I have 2 free positions. And now I'm going to just simply draw my fibs. And I could even do this now. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time with you. But I'll be more than happy to draw my fibs. And like somebody had said the other day, maybe if we're really lucky, we can get some sort of delisting news, and we're gonna shit on this OMG and knock this thing back down to earth. Or maybe, I don't know, Gensler says, you know what? I'm not quitting, and you can't get rid of me, and I'm gonna go and sue everybody in crypto. And all of a sudden, crypto shits his pants again. Whatever. Dump it right back down against the bottom end of the range. And if W start coming in, well, Brian's going to start looking for his third car. And my hunch is that the third car fill should come in somewhere around Coles. And this is where it always pays to have a astrologer in your back pocket, because he can give you these numbers and these dates. My hunch is that the next big crypto buying window is right through this eclipse window. And the next time that you see the breadth indicator give you one of these washed out signals, the public's not even the slightest bit interested. In fact, if you ask anybody in the public, will you make money buying crypto? They'll tell you, no, it's all a scam. And I think that comes through this coming March eclipse window. So let's see what happens. And really, I might even argue that this is the window, and this is how I started off the conversation today with you. This is the window. Do you want to buy some shit coins? Bitcoin has been bid up, and it's into resistance, and it's going to play around here for the next little while. My hunch here is it's going to be back and forth, all through into and around the inauguration of Mr. Trump. Once that inauguration event happens, then we're going to be into, all right, now we're into the first 100 days. And, you heard, and frankly speaking, I empathize with Mr. Trump. I think that the United States should tariff the shit out of the world because the world has been unfairly taking advantage of the American consumer. Americans should be buying American built products. The Japanese learned this a long time ago. You build the products in the United States with American workers, the Americans are going to love you for that. And it turns out Japanese cars are extremely popular in the US. And I think the Germans learned that the hard way. Got to have your plants in the United States. And the Chinese need to be led by the nose and literally shown who is boss here. And in a weird sort of way, like with my idiot leader in my country, I think that the Chinese have euchred, especially if you look into my country. It turns out that they built like literally a whorehouse just like 10, 20 miles north of Toronto, the biggest city in my country. And they literally bring these politicians in, get them all drunk, load them up with hookers, get them in some incredibly compromising situations like Bill Clinton and Epstein's Island with the wearing a dress and all that bullshit. And they literally blackmail my country. Now, I don't think Mr. Trump is the type of guy that plays that game. Mr. Trudeau is definitely that guy, and I wouldn't be surprised if some people have some pictures of him running around in dresses and crotchless panties. You know it. In fact, that you can see it in him. But that's another conversation for another day. So the point here is that we are in, and like you see a lot of it on social media and stuff. Alt season is here. I would say that literally we got to get through the hangover from the post Thanksgiving holiday weekend. And if anything, through that hangover, if I'm really lucky, I get those fills on some of the bids on some of the names that I told you about. So those won't come in for another week or two. And I think that in the short term, we should see people like, especially through this weekend, maybe even, I guess Monday's not really a holiday, but I could definitely see overnight. We could start seeing, things like this little Mona coin pop here. I mean, you can see the W, right? Ironically enough, and this is, this only Beamish is going to teach you this. Only Beamish. Nobody else teaches this. Nobody. Is this worth maybe coming in and joining our site to learn this shit? You're not going to learn this anywhere else on the net. Nowhere. Except for maybe probably students of mine who are now they're chaos experts. And they're going to go now and start schools and sites and stuff to try and bark about this stuff. But, simple put, I'm not quite sure why these numbers are different. Hey, there we go. 2.618. We can get rid of that one. And 4.669. Nice simple numbers. My hunch here is that this guy's going up to this 2.618 here, and it probably happens through the weekend. So, yeah, I got tons of bids working, Kevin. I'm running out of time here, and I said I had to have this video done here by 11 o'clock. I have an important phone call I have to have here at 11:30. So I didn't go through. It wasn't an exhaustive conversation about all the bids that I'm working, but yep, Filecoin's in there as well. I think what I'm just going to simply leave off with is, I don't know, do you want to make money from trading? I think a lot of you are site members. If anything, this image right here, this is a perfect analogy of altcoin season kind of idea. We're kind of not really overbought now, but at the same time too, this is not a, oh my God, the bottom's absolutely in, and this is a no-brainer buy. I might argue for like bigger crypto and intermediate crypto, it's going to be chop central. And the breadth indicator will keep you honest. Now, if you want to find actual trades, the screener system is now up and running, and you notice, right? This says all tags, market structure lovers. I don't see any crypto names here. I see Canadian dollar denominated names. I see euro denominated names. I see US dollar denominated names. I mean, do we have any crypto names in here? And that might be an interesting tell that, the crypto markets probably moved up a little too far, too fast. No, seeing, yeah. Not seeing a hell of a lot for us to get excited about here. Geez, keep seeing these damn real estate plays in my country, eh? Very, very suspicious. Yeah, but I mean, a buy is a buy is a buy, right? I mean, W's are W's are W's. I mean, what a shopping list. Hey, man, maybe we go buy auto parts cars. Look at that trade. That's when I look at that image, I go, the conversation's over. Like that is exactly what I wanted to see out of a screener system. You literally couldn't script this any better. So Black Friday deal. We've got this deal open, I guess, basically through the whole weekend. If I'm not mistaken, I think the window closes in 4 days and 10 hours. So what is it? It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I think it's called like Cyber Monday or something like that. So I think that's why the team decided to have this window open through that period. I'll come back on Sunday and we'll do another full review, even see whether I got any stink bid fills on either selling halves on doubles. Totally cool. I was able to actually demonstrate exactly what I do live here with you. That's fucking awesome. And I would strongly, strongly suggest if you are interested, able, at $1,000, yeah, it's still not a completely finished product. We need to get rid of these kind of anomalies, so it's still there. But I mean, God, there's on balance, this system. I mean, I love that beautiful little inside bar fractal. Look at the indicator signal. Hi, caramba. And of course, well below 200 period moving average. So probably good trade location. Telling you, this system is freaking awesome. So at $85 a month, is this a tool that's going to help you make money from trading, find good trade ideas? And then really, you might even just simply say, look I'm just going to cool my jets until I actually see this thing issue the next buy signal. I don't think you're going to get that outright buy signal, in my opinion, until probably March. As I've said repeatedly, pullbacks are buying opportunities. So this is the year to make your fortunes in crypto. And I think the best way to do it is, well, not best. I mean, there's a million different ways to skin a cat, but a really easy way to do this is the little old lady Nanny Nibbles planting flowers approach, and our sell halves on doubles approach, and building multiple car positions on names. And then when we go into the cycle peak next fall, all you're going to hear is me constantly barking about sell, 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 liquidate, 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 sell, sell, sell. Hey, Adam says he subscribed. Way to go, Adam. Love you. Hugs and kisses. All right, everybody, I'm going to leave it at that. Have yourselves a great rest of your day. Wish me luck with the banksters. Always fun chatting with them. Hey, I might find that I have to try and figure out another way to cash a US dollar check in my country, because I have no idea what's going to happen with this conversation here today. But I got a fucking couple hundred G's at this bank. You'd think that they would be slightly interested in keeping my business. Who knows? All right, everybody. Have yourselves a great day. PMA for the win. Slow and steady wins the race. Don't take no win no goals. Remember what your number job is. Don't chase. The only thing left Brian say to you is bye.